Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chicago sports fans. This is Barstool Carl.
And West Sox Dave.
Chief
Eddie.
And this is Redline Radio and All Gas No Break Chicago Sports Podcast, brought to you by Miller Lite, brought to you by Barstool Sports Chicago, and also brought to you by the Champs.
We are the champs. Number one.
Dave?
What is this thing? What are you talking about?
You guys celebrating and calling yourself champs is the craziest thing I think I've ever seen.
Are we not the number
We're
one
the
ranked
number one team.
We closed the year ranked number one.
Yeah,
Finished
you-
2021 number one in the polls. Ed.
You're ranked number one. It's the first half. Like, do you just stop at the All-Star break?
No.
The season was for the end of 2021.
There's a tournament and a regular season.
right.
The rest
The
is still
the rest of the
unwritten, Ed.
regular season keeps going.
Look
And then the
at,
tournament.
We're into 2022, Ed.
we're into the next year.
But you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You're talking to champ here, by the way.
You're not
Everybody
understanding what I'm saying.
It's
everybody
like the
understands
Bulls. The Bulls
perfectly.
should have celebrated.
No one's
Well, they should.
We're not,
They're on pace for 59 wins, and we're going to get to
No,
that.
like we will when we win the tournament, we'll celebrate that too. When we close 2022.
So you're saying the season's done. This is the seeding, and the
That's what
tournament
that's how
starts in
I
January.
understand it.
I don't think you guys are right.
I see this more as how boxing is run.
Thank you.
We hold the fucking title.
exactly.
Bro. Like,
Yeah.
I have the title.
That
I
is
am
the
currently a title holder.
only
So-
analogy to make right here. It's boxing to a fucking T.
And the two guys to my right,
But why
also
is
title
there
holders.
why is there a tournament then? Like,
Well, the tournament. I don't know. Why
understand.
is there an FA Cup, an EFL Cup, an NBA Finals?
But I'm just saying I don't think you guys are right. You made a good point.
That
but
is
I don't
exactly
think you
right,
guys are
because
we
that's
have-
what Jeff
we hold the
D.
belt.
Lowe
You guys
said.
have the belt, but whoever has the belt at the end is the champ.
We
That's my
ended.
point.
We had the belt at the end of 2021.
When is the
We're
end?
2021
at the end of the
champions.
calendar
The
year,
belt
not the end of the
rotates.
seasonal year.
What?
You had the belt at the end of the calendar.
At the
year,
end of the
not-
calendar year,
not at
so
the end of the season.
We when 2021 ended, we
I-
are the
I just
champions
know.
of 2021.
This is
if
is
someone
like
takes the belt from us
this
in
is the
2022.
69 Cubs celebrating in July. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's
but
not.
but here's the thing: is we set out a goal, and the goal is to hold the crown.
It's an admirable goal. It's
So-
a good goal. It's a good accomplishment.
This
I'm
hater.
happy for you guys.
Hater.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
I
you
think-
sound delighted.
I just think it's premature. I'm just worried about you. I just think it's premature.
You know, I thought you were going to come in here and premature me on the Bulls. You prematured me on my championship. And
Yes.
It kills me. Ed.
I think it's premature. I think you thought I was going to say the questions were easy or something. No, I have no qualms with that. I think you guys are a good team. I think you guys are a good team.
14th, 15th, and
Yeah.
42nd best player in the league. So
I watched which match did I watch of yours?
We all complement each other very. Our
Yeah,
knowledge
I think-
bases are very
I think
different.
you guys have a good team.
Yeah, that's
but-
why we're number one.
This is what I
But
think
like
it
those
is.
guys had the belt too. It's just timing. Like if that was
That's like
shuffled
saying,
around.
well, Muhammad Ali wasn't the greatest because now in 2022, someone else has the belts.
so. Then what do you guys got to say about? What do you guys got to say about Minahan then? Like not getting a shot.
Well,
like did the right people?
oh yeah, hey, what do I think? You're just drawing an opinion about Minahan on
Well,
me?
I'm just
No,
saying.
Minahan is a force. He was on IR. That happens sometimes. I'm sure Cincinnati with Kenyon Martin would have had a better chance of winning the championship if he didn't break his leg, but he did. So Cincinnati didn't win the championship. We did.
Minahan is number one too, right?
Ranked player,
Yeah.
I believe so.
By a lot?
We played them once. And I
think
Castellani
I'll-
was 2, I think.
Okay.
yes.
nah, I'm not. I think the small sample size for Castellani. We
Oh,
didn't we
he's good. I
steamroll.
don't
We
know.
steamrolled
He's very-
Castellani
he's
too.
fucking rolled
He's an
them.
encyclopedia.
He
Hey, you
is.
guys beat them pretty well.
We crushed them.
You guys beat them pretty good.
Yeah,
But
we're hot. We're the hottest team in the
We
league.
actually are so hot.
it just like
We're so hot that our secret weapon they tried to steal it from us.
Yeah, I know.
the music guy.
The
Yeah.
music guy. And to his defense,
Shout out Colin.
To his defense, that question, well, both questions that he got called on, is really difficult to answer over phone when you hear no beat of music. You have just like parts of lyrics and everything. So I give him a mulligan on that one. It's not like name this album or name this song.
Do you
or
give him a
something.
mulligan for taking Robbie Fox's phone call? I think that's the issue.
I was offended by that.
I wasn't sure that Robbie had his number because I know they've DM'd before, so that was like my hope. But when I heard that, I should have warned him, be like, "Yo, don't answer anybody else's fucking phone call."
So that guy's chasing some fame here. I think
Hey.
he's taking Robbie's call. He's taking your call, Dave.
He didn't. He had no idea we were playing Robbie at first.
Well, he's
got his
got
number.
to know where his bread's buttered. Like a little loyalty was nice. You guys,
that's true.
You guys
That's
do a
true.
podcast together.
I'll have a
Robbie
conversation
answers
with him.
Robbie, next time someone calls him, it should be like, "I'm sorry, I can't answer
I
that
think-
question," and hang up.
He might be fucking jumping ship. Some of these questions Dave have gotten wrong are crazy.
Like what?
The seal one was pretty easy.
You know,
Once
I'm so bad
get
at that
the-
that I
get the-
can't criticize.
I get that. There's a music question. I'll be interested if you get it in our match in the tournament.
Well,
it's
you
a lot
got
different when the
to.
lights on.
You're,
I know.
you're
Yes.
playing.
It's a lot different.
I don't want to hear if you guys win that tournament. I don't want to hear about it. That was like that. You're talking about like the Maui Invitational. That's what you're talking about. It's like an invite
Yeah.
only.
I have
like,
a theory.
Wait, so
Go
you
ahead.
don't respect the Yak, the Frankettes, and
In that no, because you guys
the
got to
other team?
buy past the best teams. It was like the Maui Invitational. You want to hang
Wait,
a banner for that? Go
you
right
don't
ahead.
respect. All right,
I don't. I don't
Someone
respect.
quote that. You don't respect the Yak. The
I don't
Frankettes.
respect that tournament as
the fourth
being
team?
valid. You don't even
Oh, the
know.
experts.
You don't
Yeah.
even know, do
The
you?
experts.
You don't
The
even-
analogy
some
I have
experts-
in heart is like the four of us are from Iowa, and the three of us stayed home to play for the University of Iowa, and that's like, oh, I'm going to Notre Dame or I'm going to
He
Boston
went to
College.
Duke.
He's going to Duke, and we're like, no, we're just gonna stay here at Iowa. We're homegrown boys.
Frank Kaminsky
and
had-
now that we're number
had
one,
that
and you're
quote.
out at Duke.
Frank Kaminsky had that quote when they beat Kentucky. What year was that? 2016ish.
Well, we got that question wrong recently. I think
Yeah,
it was
we did get
2013. I
stuff.
think.
Kentucky.
It was
Yeah.
all right. 23rd.
something
And
like
he's
that.
like, yeah, we got a
Proper
bunch of all state Wisconsin guys on the team. There's a couple guys from Iowa on the team, and then like that Kentucky team is just McDonald All American top to bottom.
Yeah.
like 1 through 12 on the
I
roster.
do love that team in hindsight.
And we are Kentucky. We're
did-
We're 0-4.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, Kentucky, but
How's Dave on those? Is he like tuned out, or is he like
he gets
getting
excited. I
into
thought
it?
he got excited.
He's into it. I mean,
Who doesn't get into trivia?
but he's like, he definitely like probably makes people feel a little uneasy on the other end. So
How so?
that helps. Well, he's a pretty big stickler on Jeff.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah. He's a stickler on everybody.
Oh yeah.
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 When I was out in New York this week with Ed for that live stream, some way somehow my bow tie didn't get packed, and I thought he was gonna fucking snap on me for
You
not
lost
having-
your bow tie.
I
right?
didn't open that
Really?
that tux and from when I got it to.
Did you take someone's suit on accident? Did you take that on someone?
What do you mean?
Someone DM'd me and they said like you grabbed someone's suit. Like White Sox Dave told me it was probably their fault, not yours.
No, this is okay. I know what you're talking about.
Like I just had the visualization of
No,
someone's.
I don't
fucking-
like when this happens because if this is personal,
This is so
No,
stupid.
I'm saying I laughed at like someone's wedding possibly.
So
being
I'm-
fucked up
no,
because
I didn't.
White Sox Dave
This
said
is-
their
this is
tux
what
to sit on
happened.
a live stream.
So, first of all, shout out to Formerly Modern Tuxedo. That's the name.
Yep.
So they're on Clybourne. They hooked me up last minute. They were great, family owned. If you need a tux, go to them. They're in Lincoln Park.
I
Anyway,
used them for a wedding in April too. They're great people.
So I got fitted for the tux, and he had it all ready. And there was the Ziploc or like the zip
the
pouch
travel
of the
bag.
shoes.
Yeah.
And they were sitting next to it. I'm like, are these mine? And the guy said, yeah. So I took them. He called me 5 minutes later, and I had to take them back because they were someone
Oh,
else.
okay, all right. I thought
So
like,
and you can even, I want you to DM that kid that DM'd you and ask him if I asked the guy, because he was standing right next to me when I asked the guy
Really?
if these are my shoes. Because he's trying to slander me.
I mean, I believe you, but I just the view from what the DM said, I was like, oh my god.
No, I
Like,
took.
this guy's gonna have like a fucking blue tux in the wedding, and it's
he's
supposed to-
walking his daughter down the aisle.
Hey,
Not even
blue
close.
tuxes are sharp. I wore
Those
one
are
to that
sharp,
wedding.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
if
navy?
everyone else
Navy,
is wearing
yeah.
black,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone else is wearing black. Then
Pop
it's
on
just-
camera.
Can you wear a blue tux to a black tie? Does
Yes.
black tie mean color or just the? It's,
It's just the
I
attire.
wondered that.
No, you
I
can-
wondered-
you can do
could?
that,
Okay,
yeah.
I wondered that.
I get irrationally mad when I go to a black tie thing and I go out of my way to like
Fit in.
in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
And then there's other guys walking around that are dates. And they're just in navy blue suits. That
Oh,
drives
the
me up
suit,
the wall because I'm just
yeah.
like, come on, man, I
If it's-
fucking squeeze into this thing.
If it says black tie, you better wear a tux.
Thank you.
It means a tux. If you want to,
100%.
you want to have some flair to it, you want to have a blue, you want to have something else, fine, but you better be wearing a tux. Just a normal like Jose Bank suit does not cut it.
I got a buddy who did a destination wedding and made it black tie. Oh, the group chat was flying.
Yeah,
You
fuck
tell
that.
me I got a check of tux. I gotta go down
dude,
there.
that's the
That-
worst
That
part.
was crazy. That was and I didn't. I was in. We were in the we went to the Blackhawks game. We had just gotten hired by Barstool. I was like, hey, I can't go down for the wedding. It's just I got too much going on right now. And then I found out it was like, well, good thing because you got to wear the fucking tux.
If you're
Dude.
doing a destination wedding, like in Mexico or the Caribbean or something, I think it should be a rule that they can wear whatever they want, like fucking balls beachwear and khaki shorts.
I think if you want to look nice in some linen for a beach wedding, I think that's fine. But like, you can't just show up in board shorts.
I think that should be acceptable.
You're rewriting the rules on weddings.
Slowly but surely.
I want to say this too. Someone tweeted at us over the weekend. I forget his handle, but he's a fan. I assume tweet us all the time, and he said something about the entrances, and he, obviously,
I saw that.
I want to reshape something that we said. I'm against the wacky entrances. I still like people being introduced.
So you
Yeah.
you just
What's
want
your
to
line
come
for
in-
wacky?
What do you mean?
Like the Bulls 96 lineup.
No, like, yeah, anything like that, or like whatever. Like if you just come out and they're like, oh, it's groomsmen or whatever, and you just like do a wave, I think that's fine.
I don't think
I actually like that.
I don't think the whole party needs to be introduced. I think you can do and now the for the first time as a couple, blah blah blah. Here they are. I think, and everybody applauds.
You gotta build it up.
Yeah, I like to know who's who. Yeah,
Top
of
three.
course.
Top three.
Yeah, you can't just bring out Jordan first. Like it's just you do gotta you do. I like it. I like the
Just not
entrances.
zany or like.
Yeah, it's just not zany. Like if they introduced us, like here he is, the Cubs guy, Barstool Carl. You know what I mean?
And you
like,
do a
it's tough. How you
somersault
doing?
onto
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
dance
that's. I'm
floors.
not about
Yeah.
that. But if it's just like, that's me.
Yeah.
And then that. I think I just wanted to preface that.
I have something I want to add to this that is completely but kind of related. Quick story. I was in Louisville for a destination wedding. It's not really a destination wedding, but I was in Louisville. Is that a destination? Is that a destination
I
wedding?
don't think that
No.
counts as destination
Traveling?
wedding. I mean, then any wedding you travel to it's only a
Technically, yes.
destination. I feel like if like it's some remote place where like even the bride and groom have to like travel to, right? Isn't
yeah,
there
I
like isn't it like I think
Should we
destination
turn to
is
our
like
expert and ask
like
for a final ruling?
if it's
Like
I've
Pawn
never
Stars,
been on
we're gonna bring
one.
a guy.
yeah,
I've never. I mean, the closest would be
We're bringing our
Arizona.
wedding guy.
yeah, but you wouldn't say that's
But
a
they live-
destination. Yeah, they live there.
If I got
They
married in
live there.
Denver, is that a destination wedding?
Yeah, dude. If it's
We're going to Denver.
I think that's the rule. If the
I've-
bride and groom also have to travel, then it's a destination
correct.
wedding.
I agree with
In my-
our wedding expert.
What was in my
I don't know,
rules?
but
Chiefs
you
rule.
put my brain in a pretzel on this.
I'm down in Louisville. I'm at the Brown Hotel.
Okay.
It's a very nice hotel in Louisville. It's a big wedding. I've told you, this is the guy who brought down Rod the Tough Girls.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
told this. I've mentioned this guy before.
Yeah.
End of the wedding, sparklers. Everybody's outside holding the sparklers. People on one end,
awesome.
other people on the other end. So it's like a little row of sparklers you're walking under. We're just waiting for the bride to come down. There's a fucking carriage with 2 horses. It's the most beautiful thing. They're gonna get in the carriage. The carriage is gonna take them around the block, photos, all this stuff. Where's the bride? Where's the bride? While we're waiting for the bride, 2 drunk guys come up, steal the carriage.
Wait, what?
Carriage takes off down the street. We're just standing
Were
there
they
with the
at the
sprinklers.
wedding?
No, just 2 guys walking down the street.
Wow.
Two guys are like
2 guys
just do
walking
it-
down the street.
They had just done the
one
bourbon
formed a
trail.
distraction. The other one got in there, played with the range, jumped in. Thing took off. The
That's
lady in
unbelievable.
charge of the horses screaming at the top of her lungs, "My horses! My
Jeez.
carriage!"
At the Arizona wedding I was at,
so they
had
come
a-
out. They're like, "Hey, it's like time for the picture," and they're like, "The carriage isn't here."
They're like looking for like a true Cinderella photo op, and it's just like the carriage.
These 2 guys are now.
Holy
What's better, the
shit.
photo op or the story of you walking around the rest of your life being like, "These 2 drunk guys stole my honeymoon carriage"?
I don't know.
And you said they were not a part of the wedding, like just
This wasn't like me and Geller were like fucking around. This was just 2 guys in Louisville.
that's like that Seinfeld episode where they stole the rickshaw.
That's exactly.
Wait, there's an
the fuck?
there's an episode about stealing a rickshaw. We gotta fix that. Can we get someone under there to fix that?
It's all right.
There's a Seinfeld episode about stealing a rickshaw.
Oh, yeah.
There is. It's
I-
one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite
Have you been
episodes.
watching it on Netflix?
No, I should though. I started the first season at one point in life, but then I stopped.
You gotta skip to like season 3. I think.
Really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first couple seasons are kind
Especially
of
the
dry.
first one.
Yeah.
the first one.
The
is
first
like,
ever episode is like,
What is this?
yeah.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is like I feel you do have to watch it because you got to know all the references.
Right, because
You
there's so
can't
many
just
little
know
ones.
some of
Yeah,
them. You gotta
that is
know
true.
yeah, that's kind of true.
That's my point.
How many references do you know? I know, like, I would say I know 2% of Seinfeld references.
Have you seen it?
Seinfeld? I
So
watched,
obviously you haven't. Then.
yeah, no, I probably watched a couple episodes.
It was
Seinfeld more than any other television show. When I tuned in, I hit my commercial hit rate when I would click from the guide, 96%.
so that's
All-time number one. If you guys have a show, I'd love to hear it, but that's my number one commercial click-through show.
That's actually makes some sense in my head because I feel like they have the weirdest commercial timing. Like you'll click in at, say it's 7:32 on TBS or whatever, and it's commercial. Like the show doesn't really start until like 7:30, until like the 4-minute mark.
Jerry on stage for a little bit.
Yeah,
roll.
like that's the opening song, commercial, come back, and it's like, okay. And then it is like it's off schedule somehow. I think you're onto something with that.
I also have a suggestion. A guest for Dog Walk or on the guest list or a combo.
Oh.
The bass player from Seinfeld, the guy who lanes down like the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
How many times?
It's just a keyboard. You could do that. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he does it in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that's good.
But I've seen every Seinfeld episode probably 8,000 times.
I have too, but then it's starting to like leave my brain because I haven't really watched it, probably because of the commercial thing, in like years and years. It's been years since I've seen it, but it's one of my favorite shows ever, but I just never catch it anymore.
I didn't know the commercials were that big of a problem.
It's a hindrance that I never put together until Carl pointed it out.
Hey, speaking of commercials, it's a good time to talk about our good friends at Innovative Care, Innovative ADHD, InnovativeADD.com. Which one?
InnovativeADD.com.
Go to
get your ADHD medication. It's the best place here in Illinois to get it. You got to be an Illinois resident. They take insurance. A lot of places don't, and really, it's a great, compassionate company that is gonna give you your ADHD medication, and you're gonna have no worries.
It's a real clinic. Like that's the thing. Like this is a real clinic. It's not one of those online only refill services. Like we said, they're based here in Chicago. You guys can trust them. They're gonna take your insurance. It's so easy. Start the new year out right. Get everything under control. Manage your ADHD, and go to innovativeadd.com to sign up.
And if you're in, obviously in Lakeview or around here, there's one on Ashland and Diversey on the corner there. So it's right there if you're trying to put like a familiar face or a familiar spot to this. Go sign up there and then go see, if that Diversey clinic is for you. So like Carl said, innovativeadd.com is the spot to go to get your ADHD medication. It's the best spot to do it.
Well said, Ed. Something happened over break that I just wanted to draw attention to. White Sox Dave threw his remote down a trash chute, and then we didn't get any update on it.
Dude.
Wait, really?
Wait, what?
I missed
What?
I missed that too.
So
You missed the tweets?
Yeah, I missed it.
He was
totally
frantically looking for his remote, right?
I tore apart my entire fucking living room house looking for my remote. And luckily, I had just gotten a second TV for my living room, and I had another remote, so I just switched that remote to my new TV, so it's fixed. Then I swear to God, this has been just fucking with my head for about 10 days now. Whenever it happened, I was laying on the couch, and all of a sudden, I had both remotes in my hand. I don't know where it came from. It just appeared out of thin air. It is the weirdest thing of all time that has ever happened to me.
It's like you prayed for it.
It's all of a sudden
It's a Christmas miracle. Yeah.
There was 3 tree involved, but to this day, to this second, I don't know how I got that remote. It was just on my couch. It was just literally like I was laying down. I was about to pass out. I usually pass out on the couch, wake up a few minutes later, and go to bed. And I woke up, and both remotes are like literally in my possession. Don't know where it came from, how it got there.
You gotta like put a piece of tape on one of them now. The mystery one.
It's like fucking with me. It's like someone was in my apartment fucking with me.
Maybe it was never actually lost. Maybe you're just looking at
hiding in plain sight or something.
Maybe you just were like, you saw the new one and you're like, that's the one. But it was like
I don't know, but it was really, really messed up.
That is the worst when you can't find the remote.
It is
Technology
it's one of the
can't
worst,
solve it. It's crazy.
It's
everything
one of the
changes. That
worst
remote
possible
still
feelings on the planet is not having your remote.
Well, that was my like favorite nugget from our Chaps interview is that he has trained his dogs to
dude,
find the
crazy.
remote. Yeah. So, also shout out to Chaps. I meant to tweet this too. My dog is like deathly afraid of everything, but he is also like he won't walk past the heating vent in the hall. And I like took a video of it and like posted it because it's kind of funny to me. And then Chaps like replied with like how to fix it, and I tried it, and now he's fine.
What was the fix?
You just have to sit there with him when he's scared and just like rub him and be like, hey, this is good boy, and then like walk by with him slowly and be like, good boy. Now he like will walk. He looks at it still, like he's still aware of it, but it doesn't like paralyze him. So Chaps knows what he's doing.
I fucking love dogs.
That's very interesting.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of dogs, DeMar Rosen shooting 250 free throws last night after he missed 6 of them. After he hits back-to-back game winners.
He's unbelievable.
Hits back-to-back game winners, off day, comes home, plays a 7-30 Magic team. They win. They should have blown him out. And, like, he's out there putting up 250 free throws while they're changing the fucking hardwood for the Blackhawks to come out in his full uniform.
It's crazy, dude. How good he's been.
He's the man.
Like,
MVP? We talking MVP?
depends who you talk to, man.
If you're writing an article on, like, Grantland doesn't exist, but you know, like, one of those?
Yeah,
That was a good site. I liked Grantland.
He's probably in, like, the category when they describe, like, surprising people that are serious contenders.
Like, look out for this guy. Probably use the word dark horse, maybe. Not even dark horse at this point. He's above dark horse.
He's
Yeah.
averaging 27, 5, and 4.5. He's having a fucking.
It's not just that, too. It's like, it's a great 27.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, too, because, like, you know, these fuckers, like, probably won't give it to him regardless, I feel.
I think there is like this thing where it's like, well, Zach's the number 1, so how can somebody else be the MVP? You know, like,
I don't know if he is, though.
I know, but like that is the narrative, right? It was like
Yeah,
Zach's
that it's his
That's
team.
yeah. So I
They
think
are
that's
a
like
1A, 1B. I don't think one's better than the
absolutely.
other.
They don't give a
I
shit
agree with
either.
that.
And right,
That's
like,
the best part about it.
Completely agree.
Like, they don't care. Like, DeRozan hit the back-to-back game winners. Zach was out there fucking first one off the bench, like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Next game, DeRozan, he chunks a bunch of free throws. He went basically 50% from the line. And, you know, Zach LaVine's going to be that guy that's hitting a game winner sooner than later, too. It's a great camaraderie they have.
they're a very nice team.
They really are. They're
Yep.
fun to watch, man. And there's, like, no ego on the team, which is why I kind of got away from the NBA for a lot of years. It's not like that with this Bulls
They
team.
play
like,
it. Yep, it's the same thing we've been saying all year. They move the ball. They're unselfish. They're very likable. They're a lovable team. No pun intended, but intended. And they're great to watch.
What do you do with Kobe White?
He played well last night, right?
Yeah, 35
Very
minutes
well.
last
Like,
night.
fucking microwave off the bench.
I'm kind of, I don't know. Everyone's like seems like in a rush to trade him and get something better, and I understand like that's the art of the NBA. Like you got to try to make a deal to get a team better, especially when you got
When you're close.
those two dogs up top.
Yep.
But part of me wants to see it out, but I mean, if the right, it's like, dude, Arturus, like, do whichever you think is right. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't really lean one way strongly, just as a Kobe White kind of like, I guess, believer, but. I don't know. What do you think?
There's a little stretch where he was like one of the only reasons you'd watch the Bulls. And so now that he's finally on a good team and he's had a chance to get assimilated in the NBA, 7th overall pick, wasn't a top 3 guy. So kind of, you know, take a couple years, get comfortable. The way he played last night, like, I'm not going to say it. I'll say it. He saved the Bulls. Like, the Bulls should have lost to the Magic last night.
Yeah.
And Kobe White comes off the bench and he's just fucking electric.
Yeah, and so right now says he's attempted almost 5 threes a game. In the Bulls, I read up too. They shoot the 3 the least out of any team in the NBA.
Make it the Moso.
Yeah, which is very like in this new school era, it's crazy.
It's like another
to
thing.
be the number 1 team.
Yeah. That's another thing I love about them. Like, you know, they're a little bit counterculture, and it's like they really are like a throwback team. Like, I think everybody fell in love with the Warriors just chucking it up, and they just decided, like, well, that's the most efficient way to play basketball. But it's like, a good shot is better than a 3, like always. Like just and they find a way to get guys open and get good shots. So,
but he can't. And I don't know what the numbers say, but he can hit the 3. So like if there is a way to get him involved. But I don't know. I listened to the Zach Lowe podcast. You know who that is? He's a Grant Line guy.
Yep.
And he was talking about possibly trading for Jeremy Grant from Detroit. He'd be interesting. But we'll see. And then the fucking buyouts. It's going to be cool to actually be in that race for once. I mean,
the Bulls should be a destination for these teams, or for these guys rather.
Yeah,
like that's when has that ever, like
because we need some you need another big guy.
Yep,
like you need someone.
That's it. Like that's kind of the missing piece. You need a rim protector, big guy to come off the bench. Or,
someone to complement Vooch. I feel like Vooch is so lonely because then they take out Vooch, they'll bring in the bench mob, and the bench mob's just all like 6'8", 6'9" guys flying around and stuff, and then it's like, all right, Vooch, are you ready to go in and board? Like he doesn't have any support whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I love the narrative that the Bulls are talking about, like how like DeRozan's talking about, like, and Caruso, how shocked they are on the road how many Bulls fans show up. And like now that they're good and stuff, they're saying like, dude, like we're basically playing in a 50-50 crowd most of the time on the road.
Yeah. I think, that's the Hawks used to have that too, or more. And I just think that's like when people are so ready to be like a fan again. Like the Bulls haven't given fans any reason to like want to come out on the road or even at home for a long time, and now that they are, people are like, "This is the team we've been waiting for." So it's great to see.
Well, it's a very much a fair weather sport.
Yeah,
and it's fine
because there's nothing worse than bad NBA basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not going to sit there and be, even though like attendance wise, the Bulls have even still been above the top.
Yeah. With
bad teams, but. Guys are like if you transplanted to Phoenix and like you're not gonna go
right,
like probably not won't go see the Bulls, but now it's like why the fuck wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So and then if you're like a Chicago, I'll take a trip, twist my arm in this fucking weather. So I think both of those factors. So that's good.
Courtside Magic game.
Yeah, courtside Magic game, tough.
Did he get mad at you for that blog?
He didn't say so, but he got mad at me at a joke I made on the live stream because he said he missed Star Wars World. Did you see that whole saga?
He went to Star Wars World. Yeah.
Okay, he's like, I just missed it. I was like, dude, do you look at your feet when you fucking walk? Like, how do you miss it? And he's like, you're getting really fucking cocky. I was like, oh. I was like, well, I mean, I'm just being honest, dude. How do you miss that?
Did you guys live stream at all for the college stuff? I didn't. That came together kind of last second. Those games weren't.
Very last second.
Those games were fucking dog shit, man.
It was so fucking boring, man. People were like DMing me like, you need to get like excited. I'm like, how can I get excited watching this shit?
You know what you needed, Dave? You needed some 3Chi.
Oh.
No, that would have been the last thing I needed because then I just melt into my couch.
No, that would have been better than fucking.
It's the first thing you would have needed.
First thing.
It's the most important thing you would have needed, Dave.
Where can people get 3Chi?
Well, you could.
This box in my living room.
Just go to 3chicana.com. Use promo code REDLINE.
Nah, that's not it. All right, so I'll talk about 3Chi.
Yeah, you talk about 3Chi.
I love 3Chi. Everybody I've given it to loves 3Chi. I've given it away as stocking stuffers. I gave it away all over the holidays.
Halloween.
It's a great product.
He's lying. He's kidding.
We all use it here. If you go to 3chi.com, Dave, that's the number 3, CHI.com, and you can use promo code 2022.
Whoa, this is big.
This is big. Normally they give you 5% off. And I say, hey, take that 5% and run with it because it's worth it. If you use that promo code 2022, 22% off between now and January 7th. So we are recording this January 4th. You'll hear it on January 4th. You run out there. Do it. Get that in. And you're not going to regret it. They have the vapes. They have the gummies. They have this new blue raspberry flavor that I've tried, which is delicious. It is honestly like it just tastes good. And I gave a bunch to my brother. He was flying back to England, and he just takes it on the plane and like zones out, like takes a nap, wakes up over Ireland. He's ready to, lands. He's ready to go. So it is a nice buzz, a great body feel. You have a clearer head. It's not like you don't get that anxiousness, the paranoia. So just go to 3chi.com. Dave, what is it?
3chi.com.
There you go. And again, promo code 2022 for 22% off through January 7th.
How about Dave, ready to give them like the worst ad read in the world, and they have the best promo they've ever done?
That's on me, Ed. That's on me.
Well, it's not Streisand effect, but it's also like opposite. We brought more attention to it now that you
Exactly.
you did such a bad job.
He did reference it earlier when he was losing his remotes that there were 3G involved, so that you should know again that it is psychoactive, and it's great. It's great. I can't say it enough. I think everybody here uses and loves 3G.
Must be 21 to purchase. I mean, they got it's endless. The gummies.
They got Rice Krispie treats, cookies, little Skittle type things.
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy.
Brownies.
22% is nuts.
Yeah, it's great. They've never done that. So go do it. You don't have much time to do it. So go do it right now. So what? That's what I want to say. I want to talk about 3G before that, but where does this go into the playoff argument? That's what everyone wants to talk about now because of the games are so bad, like the expanded playoffs.
I think the key to fixing college football is to force Nick Saban into retirement. Like, I don't see any other way.
Yeah.
I don't see it. How old is he now? Is he 69? How old is he?
I want to say 71.
70. He's 70.
I'm going to go 71.
He's 70 because he's a year older than Belichick.
He's
and I remember
70.
being
He's
shocked.
October 31st, 1951 is his birthday. So he is 70 years old.
He's born on Halloween?
Born on Halloween. He is the fucking grim reaper of college football. So you can't stop him. You cannot stop him. And you can expand. If you want to just have more games and you want to expand and have like these middle games be competitive, great. You'll have more entertainment, more dollars, I guess. But when push comes to shove, Alabama's going to shove. Like Alabama, and the Georgia thing, I was surprised. I thought Michigan would be able to kind of bow their necks and line up and play, have I thought it was going to be an old school, 1992 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of game. And Georgia threw the ball whenever they wanted. Like they put a beating on Michigan. So I was surprised. I bet Michigan money line. I thought there was value there. Idiot, stupid. Don't bet against the SEC when everything's on the line. And I don't know what to do.
So we went out there for obviously to promote the sports book and the live stream, and I had 4 bets apiece on each game. I didn't hit a single bet until I bet Michigan money plus 10 or what? Oh, I took the team total at halftime of 10.5. I'm like, because they only had 3 points at halftime.
Yeah,
I was like, they're gonna score fucking a touchdown and a couple
garbage.
Yeah. And they did, and they went for 2.
Skin
and they
your
got
teeth.
it.
Yeah.
So that was the one bet I hit. Otherwise, I just burned through fucking money.
I bet Michigan money line. I took them against the spread. I took Stetson Bennett. I think it was under 248 passing yards, which he threw that one pass down the sidelines. I think it was on the first series, and I was like, I'm fucked. All of this is fucked. I'm a moron. Like, I personally think Stetson Bennett stinks. Like I've said, like Ed and I have talked about that like many times.
He's fine.
Right. Okay. But when they started slinging it all over the place and that early in that game, I was like, I'm an idiot.
That's what, they got bullied up front too, but really it was their DBs that were in no man's land.
Nowhere.
No man's land against Georgia. So what were you going to say?
I just think that we find with the playoff setup, like Saban is so much better. The teams and all this stuff, yeah, sure, his players are great. But where I think Saban really fucking kills you is play a full season with these kids and give them 4 weeks to prepare for just a monster game.
Yep. And
Saban's just going to kill you. The way the format is set up is like, it'd be like playing Michael Jordan in one-on-one. Like there's just no way to compete against Nick Saban in the format is. They're saying, he's old as fuck. He's been doing this forever. So if I were to change the playoff or where does the playoff go from here? I think that they should have more play round 1, week later, play round 2, fucking week later, play the championship. So if there's 3 rounds and you put these teams in a position where because to me, football is not just one game. You get 4, 6, 5 weeks to prepare for, and Alabama's resources and all their shit, and Saban's calling Belichick. Mm-hmm. Who knows how much prep they're doing? But if you can make it bigger and more of a...
Yeah, I think historically part of the reason for the gap was everybody's taking finals. So, like, you don't want to have the biggest game of your season while theoretically these student athletes are going through finals. Realistically, I think everybody now knows no one gives a fuck about that. Don't you remember, like maybe even as early as like 8-10 years ago, maybe less than that, you would have all these guys be like, oh, well, he's not eligible for the bowl game. He's not eligible for the bowl game. He didn't pass his final. He didn't pass his Spanish class. Like, some star player is out. And it's like, well, fuck. And it felt like Florida State and Georgia would always get fucked on that. When was the last time you heard of a guy being academically ineligible for a bowl game? I can't remember.
It's been a while. It's a very good point.
Yeah. So I just feel like now I'm
online classes.
Yeah. Now I'm just with Carl. Like, if I think SEC, they have the championship week. Maybe take a little break for Army Navy. Like, I like when Army Navy's the only game.
I love Army Navy. There's a huge gap on the football calendar, and it's I know the Hawaii Bowl is canceled this year, but man, would Christmas Eve hit different with
that
like
would
a
be
play-in,
awesome.
The first round play-in game, like the 11 and the 12 play or something like that.
Talk dirty to me, Carl. Like,
Thank you.
that's what I want. Like, you have something to do on Christmas Eve. Ed likes to go listen to the carolers. Apparently, Cyan over there doesn't like the idea of a Christmas Eve football, but that to me would be
No.
perfect.
This is attacked. I'm getting attacked. On the
Well, you
show.
started the show with the sound.
I did. I was sighing because I was thinking, is there a different way to do Army Navy where they still get their own spotlight, but not take the whole weekend? You know what I mean?
That game, like, I love that game.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. But like, I was.
You want to go next year? Will you sign a pact?
I told Cons I
I've
wanted to
said it to
go.
Cons many times.
I'd love
Yeah.
to go, but it looks very cold every year.
You
and
are
I'm like,
such a baby.
You're such a pussy, dude.
doesn't it though? It looks so
Ed,
cold.
I'll give you this nice mossy oak hunting jacket. You put that. It's the warmest thing I own. It's
Really?
unbelievable. You wouldn't feel a goddamn thing.
Like, can't they let them? I mean, they could hypothetically play that game anytime. I don't know.
Is
Army
Philly
Navy?
the perfect spot for that? I was trying to think, like, could there be like a
It used to be in. I feel like they wrote
Baltimore.
Well,
it
used,
is?
well, it used to be at Veterans
Well,
Stadium
it
every
flips.
single year, and then I think they've played it in MetLife, and they've played it in Baltimore, which is kind of like the home stadiums, and they play it in Philly, which I believe is halfway between. So I think that's kind of a rotation now. I like Philly. I would go to Philly. I've never been to Baltimore.
Baltimore
Yeah.
looks like a fucking dump.
I mean, Dave, you
That's-
just watched The Wire. Like, just shut up.
I
Yeah.
Is that from the ball? Is it?
He
You
hasn't
watched The
wa-
Wire,
he,
right?
He hasn't watched it.
I haven't watched
Oh,
it.
I thought.
I've started it and I just never got into it.
The Wire makes it look very bad. Season 1. I've only seen season 1.
I do agree with Big Cat though that you expand the playoff because you want to see the other games. You know, you want to see the games leading up to it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, the 7-10 game
yeah.
or whatever the fucking.
I mean, I hate to bring up the Notre Dame because it was such an epic, disgusting collapse.
What's their?
But that was probably the most entertaining college football game of the weekend.
That
right?
one in the Tennessee
Purdue.
one where
Yeah,
Tennessee,
Purdue.
Purdue. But
Tennessee,
but
both
they're
those
not,
games were electric.
Yes, but they're not like playoff teams.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if we're
yeah.
talking about like matchups between play, I guess no. Ohio State,
State
Utah
was
was awesome
yeah.
too.
Oh, fuck.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
What's Notre Dame's record in their last 10?
it's 0-8 for their last 8 BCS or New Year's Six Bowl. So it's not great, but just keep going. Just keep getting there.
I honestly don't hate Notre Dame, and people are going to get mad at me. But you just
It's a tough
somebody
stat.
to bring up. He should be bringing it up. He's the one who hates Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's a tough stat. I'm
But-
not gonna lie, but it's like you'd rather be in the big game than not. And
Any pause in the Freeman era,
no,
or it's just
No.
I mean, people were people were
Oh,
people were freaking out.
People were in my
yeah,
mentions
people
about
were
that.
freaking
Yeah.
out, and I'm not
And about-
causing drama. It was a genuine question.
Same thing about Tommy Reed. Like, where are the second half adjustments? And it's just like, look at it. It's the same. It drives you crazy because it's like every time Notre Dame loses a game like this, it comes down to 2 positions. They don't have athletes at corner, and they don't have like a difference-making quarterback. Like, and you saw Oklahoma State's quarterback took over that game. Like, he took over that game, running everywhere, scrambling, design runs, good passes on. So then the safeties were staying home, linebackers were staying home, guys were coming open. They haven't had a difference maker quarterback. I guess Brady Quinn, but but he didn't threaten you the way some of these scrambling guys do. So maybe Tyler Buckner, because he's got wheels, can evolve into that. But yeah, like they need a guy that can raise the whole level of the offense at the quarterback position, and then they got to be able. They can't. It's been the corners forever, and then it's like the one time they had like a real NFL guy was that playoff game against Clemson, where I think they lost like 27-3. and he got hurt in the first quarter. So it's like, and then as soon as he got hurt, they scored like 3 touchdowns in their 3 drives before that, or second quarter he got hurt. But he had been, and then he came back, and the game was a stalemate because like having one true like lockdown NFL type corner can really impact the way you play the rest of your defense. But they've never been able to get that, so hopefully they'll be able to step that up now with Freeman. But yeah, it was an ugly second half, and I thought it was impossible. Like I thought that was the safest 28-7 lead I had ever seen.
I thought so.
Yeah. Whoops.
What about, you talk about secondary strength? Like this Brandon Joseph, is that change things for you guys?
Dave?
It doesn't. I promise you it doesn't.
Consensus All-American as a sophomore.
He absolutely was, and he was great in a 4-3 base defense where his defensive line and linebackers were fucking awesome in front of him. Moved him to a kind of like a sideline to sideline cover one guy. It was fucking ugly, and I was told all year he was prima donna, like fucking showing up late to practice and shit, like just total douchebag. So
don't like the sound of that, but I mean he was a consensus All-American.
He was.
I do like
first round projections.
Look, I'm not.
This is exactly what I was told. So this is 2-3 weeks ago. I have friends at Northwestern now, people that I'm like real life friends with that work with the Northwestern program, and they said that he didn't like his draft grade because everybody gets graded after the year by the NFL, like guys that are projected to be drafted. They're they're told like, hey, we think you're going to go here. He didn't like it. He like after his sophomore year when he was an All-American, they're like, yeah, you could be a first rounder, like late round right now or late first rounder, but you could be a first rounder. Then it dropped to 3rd to 5th round this year is what I was told. He didn't like that. Obviously, the Northwestern sucked, but like, fucking take him. Like, I do not care. Nor like if you think he's gonna come in and be an All-American,
I don't think that.
I don't think he's gonna start there.
He is going. Is he going to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No comment, but yes.
Okay.
Like
you sense he is.
I have a pretty good sense that he is.
Listen, Red Line Radio historically, when we do scoops, it's always like just break it how we broke the Quintana trade. Like, don't actually break it.
Yeah.
So you can just easily reel it back if you're wrong. And
yeah, I would say there's like a 98% chance that he's at Notre Dame.
And I would say there is a good chance because Notre Dame runs they run a nickel offense or defense, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, most teams if you're talking about not really.
I would
really.
say that Notre Dame
really.
fans are gonna fucking hate this guy.
I mean, like they're not gonna ask him to be Kyle Hamilton. Like they play twin safeties. Kyle Hamilton, they do bring an extra guy in the box because Kyle Hamilton is like if this guy had a first round grade. Kyle Hamilton, historically, like they talk about him as potentially being a top 5-7 pick.
Yeah,
like
he's
a
awesome.
freak. So I don't think anyone's going to expect him to be that, but I think he's going to start, and I think he'll be fine. I think he'll contribute to like a very good defense next year because they're bringing almost everybody back except for Hamilton.
I want to bring up this too. Before I would say we all got some meathead in us.
I do.
What any hot takes on the Matt Corral situation?
What's the Matt Corral?
Oh,
situation?
thank you for bringing this up. And the people that dragged him for like playing in the game, like why would you play in the game if you're going to get drafted? But then there's people on the other aisle that are dragging the players that aren't playing in the games.
Yeah. So did you didn't watch? I assume it's fine.
I don't think Matt Corral has any regret. Yeah. I don't think he will go through his life with any fucking regret, and I think that working backwards is how I would approach a situation.
Yeah, so Matt Corral is supposed to be a first-rounder quarterback, Ole Miss. Yep. He got hurt in like the second quarter, and he came back on crutches, and people were, sparked a debate of if the player should play or not, and he wanted to play. I mean, it wasn't a playoff game. I don't know. It was just it was a spicy debate, and it's going to be never-ending. Because this is kind of the way it is now.
Until you can figure out a way to compensate the player for a bowl game, and then you have to compensate him by performance.
I was reading this
for the position because like the quarterback's more important, right? I do argue like Matt Corral should get paid more than his fucking left guard, and until they can get to a point where like you're making this decision on value, I think we're always going to be arguing about it.
I think so too.
Can't.
100%. I was reading yesterday that there's 3,000 players in the transfer portal right now. It's just a fucking free-for-all in college football. And with regards to someone like a Matthew Corral, I'm just throwing – it's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl featuring Matt Corral of Ole Miss. They'll start getting naming rights for that, like $1 million fucking deals, just so they play in the game, so more eyes are on the Matt Corral. I'm not saying Matt Corral's like some world beater. He's fine quarterback. But say if it was like Cam Newton or Johnny Manziel or something, they're going to start doing like college bowl game naming rights featuring X player.
Love it.
Which is fucking wild to me.
I like it.
You heard that
And
somewhere?
I'm saying that's what is going to start being thrown around because all these guys are going to start opting out because why the fuck would they play in that game when they're not getting paid a cent more?
And I heard the most intriguing thing to me is, like, nobody's opted out of a playoff game yet, in my opinion, but it's going to happen.
It's 100%.
To my belief, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, where they're like,
Yeah.
sorry, Coach Saban.
Yeah.
I have a first-round grade.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you've done for me.
It's going to happen, right?
Do you support those kids if they do?
I support. I'm in the side where I support them making their own decision. I'm fine with that. Whatever it is, I get it. I see both sides. Me personally, I'd play.
Yeah, I think if it's the playoff, you gotta play. That's kind of after that.
I
It's
don't
like
disagree,
make up your own
but
mind.
to me, it's like and like I said, if you want to sit like Kenny Pickett, like sure, dude, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
no problem. I don't begrudge anybody for sitting out, but to me, it's like football is such a bonding sport.
Yeah.
Where like you go through so much with those dudes that like it would be very hard for me to not play.
I agree, but it's like I always feel like the bowl games are always an exhibition game, with the exception of the playoff. You know, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but there's something about your last time.
I
you know what I mean? There's something about your last time put on that gold helmet.
Yeah.
There's something about, and it's like Jake Butt. Like he's a great example. Like he fucking got hurt in that bowl game in Michigan.
Yep.
And he's out of the league already. Like it
Yeah.
hurt his draft stock. It hurt everything. And he said I'd still play again in a heartbeat. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Individual. I think it comes individual. If a guy's like, "Yo, I'm sitting on a guaranteed paycheck. I want that money. My family needs that money." Then I think the worst part. I shouldn't say like what is right in this situation. Like it's right for players to do this. I think it's wrong for people to shit on these players. That's like the only thing I can say with certainty. I think it's very wrong to like cast strong opinions.
I
here.
guess though, like the reason I keep making that dividing line, like, can you imagine if you had that Texas versus USC national championship and Vince Young and Reggie Bush opted out? Like,
that'd be crazy, man.
Yeah, like,
That's going to be college football moving
It's going to
forward.
happen.
Yeah.
Dude. It's going to happen.
I really
Those days are over though, because like that was like Vince Young was playing to be a fucking legend, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know if you can do that anymore with how much stuff's flying around and the players coming and go, how much it's become a business. Like that was, you were still hanging on to this.
And I think that's the thing too, is there is more to it, right? Like there is something to be said for like being legendary status at a school. Like if you play, like say, and like Matt Corral played, and like say it was a little bigger bowl, and like he has a legendary performance, and he goes in the league and he does well, like, or he, even if he flames out, like he's going back, they're giving him a fucking director of something job at Ole Miss. You know what I mean? Like there's something to
he could go to car dealerships.
yeah.
Like,
There's
do all
something
that shit.
to like holding a good relationship. True.
Was that like something
Like Kenny Powers, you know, like, hey, like come see Matt.
Yeah.
Corral. Like
I'll give
you
you
can get
$200
deals like that. Yeah, you can. Well,
buy a condo from Tommy Coverdale.
there you go. Okay, I do think that matters, but maybe not for a guy like Corral.
No. But
Yeah.
it's just an example.
No,
poorly made.
No, it's not. I think it's a fine example.
You know,
yeah.
there is something to that where like Vince Young, like even though
Yeah.
he flamed out in the league, but he, they
Yeah.
went back to Texas and apparently he like wouldn't do shit, right? Wasn't that like the rumors?
Yeah.
Like he was just like a bad employee.
Yeah.
But like he's Vince Young, so you have
Right.
a job at Texas.
Yeah. You're a state employee.
Yeah, there's
for a
I
while.
got there's
Sorry, Vince.
there's stories of this. Yeah, in Illinois has happened. A couple names come to mind. Poor Matt Corral.
Yeah, it sucks,
just-
but I think
all
he'll be
his-
fine.
Especially
Yeah.
having the Sugar Bowl too.
Yeah,
All
they-
his X-rays and everything came back negative.
That's
He's
good
fine.
then.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
good.
All right, we're gonna Thursday. We'll come back for like Blackhawks, Bears,
We can do Blackhawks right now. They're fucking dead.
Really?
So they had a 13-day layoff. They lost 5-1 and 6-1. Like, the season's over, Ed. Your prop bet is dead. Like, and you're starting to see the tweets being like, oh, Minnesota and like the Islanders and like 2 other teams have interest in Cal DeHaan. Marc-Andre Fleury is rumored to Edmonton. Like, that's like the thing to like chart now, because like they're just not like, they're not a good team. Like the roster is, they have so many like AHL guys on the roster. Guys are hurt, and it's just COVID protocol. They just don't have enough good players. I do think that we are, as soon as Reichel is healthy, he's been put in COVID protocol. He's had concussions, and I think those have delayed his call up. But I think he'll be called up in January. I'll say that. So, but other than that, they're fucked. So
I'm sorry.
yeah. So
Thought we were coming off the big break. Couple games coming up.
smash, and then
That
they got
Preds game was tough.
what?
Preds game.
Preds game was tough. Calgary game the next night, tough. So it's like you get embarrassed. After the layoff, you come home, you get embarrassed again, and then you come up for air, and here comes like another whack-a-mole in the version of Colorado Avalanche in town tonight. So they'll probably get smashed again tonight. I'll watch them, but they're gonna get smashed, and they just don't have enough good players, and it is what it is. Like, smashed. Stan Bowman fucking blows. This is all.
What's he doing these days?
I have no idea.
Living down in fucking Tampa or something?
Do you never mind.
Say it.
Do you know who the guys who got their car stolen was?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But they got him back.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
Also sucks for the valet.
Yeah.
I
To
guess.
have a gun pulled on him. Yeah.
the whole
yeah.
thing's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
bad.
fucking insane.
Yeah, and that's not those ones were kind of widely reported and speculated that it was 2 guys from the Hawks. I think that's the third and the fourth Blackhawks player to have their car jacked this year.
Well, all they do is everyone drives a black.
Thanks,
Range Rover.
Lori.
But actually,
They're always driving black Range Rovers.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
a misconception I've read though. I guess even like it's not. They're not just going for like luxury cars.
No.
Like regular cars are actually stolen more.
Like
But
my
that's-
Subaru with
Do you
the
know-
fucking bumper that's about to fall off.
Yeah.
They'll
Probably
take
they'd
it.
probably
yeah.
look at the bumper and say no. But like if it had a bumper intact, they'd probably take
Yeah,
it.
they probably take it.
They're fucking jacking them, hopping them on barges, and shipping them off to China.
No.
I swear to God, that's
That barge would have to go through
dude,
Lake Michigan,
I understand that they're getting to China
up to
somehow.
St. Lawrence.
I could, if you told me that the parts were somehow getting to China, I believe you. But an intact Carl Subaru
What?
making its way to China,
What
I
deep
swear
web
to God.
message board did you read this on?
I think it was CWB Chicago is where I read it. That's not a deep web message board. That's like,
but like,
it's
how do
not.
you get
It's not.
those
I don't know.
through customs?
I don't know. But that's what I read.
I don't
This
know.
fucking city's going to shit. That's a
well,
different
I mean,
topic for a different day.
Probably.
Well,
a
Can we
different podcast.
can we
doom
talk?
you're doom and gloom now.
Can we
Dave?
talk about
Doom and
a
gloom.
celebration of life for a split second?
yeah, we should give a wait for that because Ed was about to say something.
There's doom and gloom. Dave.
Somebody
He's gonna
pregnant?
start writing Dante blogs soon.
Oh, I mean, it's hard not to agree with everything he says.
Well, you got to be positive.
It's hard at. It's tough.
I know.
This is Ed standing up for his people. Red Ed
Yeah.
standing up for China. Just
For
go
tyranny.
steal our cars.
Sorry, what were we gonna say, Dave?
I wanted to offer my sincerest congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Drake LaRoche on getting married.
Dude, yes.
I was
yes.
hesitant to bring this up or save it till because we might
don't
do
have to-
another 2.5 hours now.
No,
You
no.
hate
We'll-
this kid so much.
No, I don't hate the kid. I hate his dad. I
What
think his dad's
the
a fucking
fuck?
weirdo.
You hate
I
their family.
double checked that fucking post 1,000 times before I tweeted that to make sure I wasn't getting punked somehow.
How old is he?
So he was 12 years old in 2016. Do the math.
Is he 17?
I read 18, but
No,
yeah.
no. He was 14, I believe.
I thought he
he's
was
18 or
12.
I thought
19,
he was-
I think.
we could probably look it up.
I read he was 18, so he's 18.
18 and married?
They're like very religious. people,
Super
right?
religious, but it's just like it was his dad. His dad's Instagram, Adam LaRoche, congratulating him. I mean, to each your own. Like, go and get fucking married if you want to get married at 18.
I mean,
just like
so he was 14-year-old. I just read it. So Adam Eaton That was the quote.
Yeah, he
They
was
lost
14.
They
So
lost a
leader.
great leader. They lost a great leader.
Yeah, the most embarrassing quote to ever come out of an athlete's
Now
mouth.
he's the head of a family. So
Dude, that was. I will never not be shocked at that, and I shouldn't be shocked that this guy's married, but I'm shocked. And now he's 18, so it's like okay to kind of poke fun at it too.
Yeah, the Adam Eaton,
it's like the most preposterous quote of all time.
is he misquoted?
I just read it again. Lost a leader in
Yeah.
Drake and 14-year-old Drake LaRoche, who will no longer be around the team.
What a fucking loser he is.
That's
Maybe he was
that's
talking
your
about
right
his dad.
fielder.
Maybe he was talking about Adam.
No, he was talking about the fucking kid that was
We lost a
This is-
leader in Drake.
exactly how I remember it going. And I went straight from my memory. So people, like, I did that intentionally so people would correct me on details that I was misremembering. But the whole saga, so they signed him, and they signed him with the crux that Drake LaRoche was allowed in the clubhouse, and Kenny Williams was like, yeah, we're family friendly, like bring him clubhouse, like he can come in and shit. He was there 100% of the time, pregame, postgame speeches during like when the
Sounds like
players
he
were
was
shout-
giving the speeches.
He was never not there. And then they signed Jimmy Rollins, and this has never been confirmed by anybody, but it's been widely speculated that it was Jimmy Rollins in 2016 who was the one to be like, yo, get this fucking kid out of the clubhouse, to Kenny Williams. So Kenny Williams goes up to Adam LaRoche and is like, hey, he can't be in the clubhouse 100% of the time. If you want to bring him, that's fine. Other players bring their kids and shit, like bring them, but not 100% of the time. He's like, nope, I quit. I'm done. And then Adam Eaton, that fucking loser. I can't stand that guy.
Is he still on team? Is he still?
He got released by the Angels last year. He's done. But gave that quote. Then Chris Sale, who is a noted hothead, told Kenny Williams to stay the fuck out of the clubhouse. Like, that's not a place for front office guys to be. Like, that's our place. You stay in your place. And then 2 months later, Sale cut up the jerseys. Matt Latos went on a tirade in the clubhouse. Todd Frazier he literally, from what I was told by a player on the team, grabbed him by the shoulders, lifted him up, and shoved him into a locker.
He did that to who?
To Adam Eaton. Todd Frazier did that to Adam Eaton. So then Abreu hated Eaton, but Abreu also hated Frazier. So it was like a circle of hate. So it was like a three-way fist fight where they're all trying to fist fight each other, but no one's defending the other person. So it was just a fucking mess.
Hell in the Cell.
Mess of a fucking clubhouse.
Jesus, dude.
It was horrible.
Thank God they blew that up.
Thank God. But that's the funny thing I wrote in the blog is like maybe they don't ever blow it up and they keep trying to patchwork teams together if it weren't for Drake LaRoche.
Yeah.
That
He's
little
great.
12-year-old, however, 14-year-old punk. Not punk. He's probably a good kid.
Yeah, he's probably a very nice guy.
Yeah,
He
probably
just,
a really
he just
nice-
has a very different life.
A little disrespectful to Rick Hahn there.
Nah, that's fine. I mean, he'd admit it too. But
So fucking funny, dude.
You know what? If my favorite part is a picture like Jimmy Rollins, MVP, World Series champ,
Like
just
consummate professional.
But like the fact this
Yeah.
happened in 2016 and Jimmy Rollins is involved in the story, like Jimmy Rollins was playing that late, like
it's
the
not
whole
long
thing is
ago.
just hilarious to
It's
me.
not long ago.
Jimmy Rollins going up to Kenny Williams like, get this motherfucker out of my clubhouse.
You know what's funny? You know what's
And
funny
then Jimmy
too?
Rollins got released.
Jimmy Rollins being like, Chase Utley would cut this kid's throat.
You know what's funny too is it's not out of the realm of possibility that you and this kid cross paths one day if you keep up with this outdoor shit because they're
Oh, no, they're
deep
huge
into
in
that
it, yeah.
world.
Good point.
They're deep into that world.
Like it's
You
let
gotta-
bygones be
Seeing fucking
bygones,
Dave
and obviously
Drake LaRoche in a deer stand would be unbelievable.
I would do it.
Dave wouldn't come back.
I would like I hold zero. And you know what? Even Adam LaRoche, for being a complete, like, if you want to get deep into the Adam LaRoche, like, he went over to Thailand or some shit and was working on human sex trafficking. Like, he was trying to catch people that were working in human sex trafficking.
He had a brother in the league too, didn't he?
Andy.
Yeah.
That's right. Andy LaRoche. That's right.
Braves, right?
But, like,
Yeah.
he's an
Pirates, too.
odd bird. But to his defense, like, he just upped and quit and didn't say a word about it and never bitched about it in the media and anything. So, like, go do you, man. And he was fucking horrible in his 1 year with the Sox. But Like, I don't hold ill will to those guys. It's just that roster as a whole, I fucking hated. They were the most unlikable team. We were talking about the Bulls.
That happened, dude.
It was such an
we're still talking about it like almost 6 years later.
know.
Well,
we called him.
Someone,
We got him on the
that's right.
phone. Second episode.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, that's right.
We prank
Second
called
episode
him.
of Red Line Radio. We have Adam LaRoche at the end of it.
That is that's a future trivia question for the dozen. Like, that's going to be asked. And if the dozen's still going in 20 years or like 10 years, it's like, who's the
Drake LaRoche.
what is the player who broke up the White Sox because he wanted to bring his kid to the clubhouse 100% of the time?
Nobody, but like even in 20 or 30 years, it would be too easy. That's like too easy.
See,
like,
I don't like. I said that. I'm like, to start the blog I wrote on it this morning. I'm like, I don't know if a lot of you guys will remember this story.
I will never forget that story.
In Chicago, nobody will forget that story ever. But on a national scale, I wasn't sure. And like the comment section was like, of course we remember this story.
Yeah.
Like, how could we forget? And I'm like, God
Your
damn, was
tweet
that
was
embarrassing?
like, I like dropped my phone.
I
You're
like I
Jesus,
said, dude.
your Jesus Christ was so perfect because I was like, I said the same
It
reaction.
was. I checked that 1,000 times to make sure I wasn't getting duped. I'm like, and I went to the Instagram post itself. I'm like, is this actually Adam LaRoche? Is that Drake LaRoche? And I did all my because I was like, if I get duped on this, I'll get fucking unmercifully massacred on the internet, and rightfully so. But I'm like, that's him. His kid got married and he's like 18 years old. But like I said, to each your own. It's like, if it was just some random, if that story never happened, like, I wouldn't have batted an eye. I'd be like, oh, he's 18. That's kind of young, but whatever. I don't give a shit. It's just the fact that it's him. Wow. And that's it. That's all I got on it.
Congratulations to Drake LaRoche.
Hey, love is love. I'm sure he's happy. If that's the case, then fucking go have a great life, kid.
And for all intents and purposes, there's a good chance he just had sex for the first time.
Hey,
yeah.
that is a good point.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So hopefully,
And honestly,
hopefully
it's
you enjoyed that, Drake.
It's
if you're listening.
funny because it's not even like
They definitely conceived a child. Like that
Yeah,
that's how it goes. So like his wife's now also probably pregnant. So
Probably, yeah.
So congratulations to that too.
it's since he's now getting married, and it's not like a Tebow thing, like where he claims to be a virgin until married. Is Tebow married?
He got
now?
married. He married like Miss South Africa. Or
But
something.
she was like, but they were in like their mid-late 20s by then, right?
She's got big ones, Dave.
I bet.
she's a rocket ship.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Drake LaRoche's girl's pretty too.
Nah. It still feels inappropriate, even though she's a married woman, because she's probably 18.
She looks older than him.
Oh, you think?
I look
thought so?
much,
Women mature faster.
She looks like she's in her 20s, but I'm not saying she's a good-looking girl. That's it. But like, he's getting laid for the first time at 18, which is pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
It's not like much different. It's just the pursuit's different. A lot of things.
But
are
we're like
different
making
for
fun of him, like, oh,
No,
he's finally getting laid. It's like, well, that's like,
Yeah, it's
about
not
the
like he
time
held out
everybody's
till he
getting
was
engaged.
Yeah,
26
true,
or
true.
something
Yeah.
and was like,
They say that's why most people get married younger, because they just, I can't wait anymore.
It's like one of those
Yeah, I
dogs
got a
walking
couple
around
buddies
with
that
the
from
pink
college.
things
Central
hanging out of
Illinois
their
guys.
dicks.
Yep.
yeah, nice guys,
Sure.
good people. All right, tune in on Thursday, and we have more stuff. There's some more juicy stuff that we're going to get to. I obviously do very much cannot wait to talk about Ken Rosenthal. We're going to sit on that. Bears, maybe. No more Blackhawks. They're dead.
We'll see. It'll be like passing comments like we got today. 2 minutes or less. It'll be a penalty kill of Blackhawks talk for the rest of the year.
And now, killing penalties with Chief.
Yeah.
Tune in on Thursday and go listen to the Hangover draft.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good draft.
Hangover. Never mind. Sorry.
I'm very, very happy with the outloving or the pouring in of support that I've gotten for my shower naps.
Is it raining down on you?
I'm getting.
Do you
a
feel it
ton.
on your skin?
I do.
Okay, good. Glad you're finally feeling the rain on your skin.
I don't even want to go there.
Someone sent me a funny video.
Your skin. All gas.
No breaks.
DJ, play that shit.